We know that they're having issues over with Crumb Chicker. And, no. Anyway, Sky
up on
Deutschland,
the Tallahassee Trail. You know, he's been doing that.
Oh, yeah. Sky Deutschland announced this week that they are actually parting ways with WWE. Oh, as we said before, when one door opens, another closes. When one closes, another opens. And this was actually WWE's decision. The current contract between the two sides expires at the end of this coming March. Sky did tell customers, though, that while WWE no longer would be offered, they will begin offering pay-per-views from another wrestling league, Paystee. When one door closes, another opens.
Yes.
In April, they will be
the
airing pay-per-views from AEW. Oh,
shit.
AEW Dynamite already runs weekly on Sky each Friday at 9:50 p.m.
I like to
Sky will begin offering AEW pay-per-view events, quote, shortly via the Sky Select service. Pro Cybian Max, which sounds like a hell of a masturbation machine, and that's all I can fucking think of.
It's for the Semen Canyon.
We haven't talked about him. We talked about him for like 2 weeks straight. We got it. Seaman Canyon said that the Pro Cybian Max continues to air Raw and SmackDown on free TV.
It airs Raw.
Germany. we like Seaman Canyon and on the Pro Cybian Max.
He's gonna be our next logo. I swear to God. Don't even know what he looks like. Doesn't matter. It's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm just loving this.
I can imagine what Seaman Canyon looks like. Oh, this is great.
You know what? I feel like I'm looking at a Seaman Canyon right now.
Do you envision the same thing I do, where Sky came up, contract talkings, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna start airing AEW pay-per-views, and Vince threw like a 6-year-old temper tantrum. No, my toys. And then he's like, yeah.
What do you mean airing AEW pay-per-views? Well, we'd like to air both WWE and AEW. What do you mean both? We're WWE. Well, yeah, we're still going to air your pay-per-views, but we also want to air AEW pay-per-views. What do you mean AEW pay-per-views?
That's not how you spell WWE.
Oh. Yeah, I can imagine that for sure.
It's funny, and it's funny to know that kind of AEW muscled out WWE from that.
Well,
even if it's not the truth, it's nice.
In your story, it is. Yeah, it's a fun little thing there.
Impact Wrestling has announced that they'll be broadcasting content from Alpha One Wrestling on their digital subscription service, Impact Plus. Alpha One was founded in 2010 and is run by current Impact Tag Team Champion Ethan Page. Alpha One is an independent promotion based in Canada whose champions are as diverse as Luke Harper, MJF, Orange Cassidy, and Michael Elgin. All of whom will be in AEW very soon. As well as others. Ethan Page noted that Impact stars will be appearing at future Alpha One events starting in March, and the promotion will be used as a sort of developmental for up-and-coming Impact wrestlers. And let me tell you, I can't wait to see Impact's NXT.
This is actually really cool. I'm kind of excited for this.
Impact is a stellar show.
Yeah.
And to see their underground version of that.
It's going to be more like the old OVW, FCW deal, less of an NXT, obviously. But I think it's awesome. I think it's great that they have a breeding ground that they're going to. I think it's great that it's local for them. Obviously, Impact Wrestling nowadays is a Canadian company. And again, you look at who's been associated with it, current and past. You got Ethan Page, MJF, Luke Harper, Orange Cassidy, Michael Elgin. Not only have they all made big names for themselves, but every one of them are very different from each other, so you don't really have a cookie-cutter mold. I think this is awesome. I think it's a great expansion for Impact Plus, their streaming service. You know, they're offering something that WWE Network isn't offering, that ESPN Plus isn't offering, that Disney Plus isn't offering. I'll admit, I don't think it's anything that anyone, including myself, is going to get Impact Plus just to watch.
But it's all the more reason to get it, period.
Yeah, it's a plus. It's like, oh, I can get Impact Plus to watch all the Impact stuff I want to watch. And wow,
so
now I get to see some up-and-coming people.
Impact Plus?
Impact Plus 1. I just think this is good. I think this is only helpful. Obviously, it's 100% helpful for Alpha 1. Wow, huge for Alpha 1.
Yes.
And I think it is helpful for Impact, especially to have their own sort of developmental to where maybe they can bring people up in the Impact style, which I don't know is very different from other independents, but it's very different from the WWE style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they go back to the Octagon ring, it's very different.
That's true. I don't think they will anytime soon, and only fans miss it. And I'll admit it. I'm a huge fan of it. But I've also heard every wrestler who's ever wrestled in them say that they'd rather be in the square ring, so I get it.
We need a circle ring. I want a ring-shaped ring.
How do you do it?
It involves a lot of corner posts.
It's all corner posts.
It's really just 158 sides. But you can't really tell when you're far enough away.
Yeah, it's we want a big hole, don't we? We want a big hole.
Yes. Which brings me to Japanese female wrestling. Yes, the promotion Stardom announced Monday they will be canceling a number of upcoming shows as a precaution to the coronavirus.
Corona!
In a series of tweets, Stardom announced what events would be canceled, also revealing its March 8th show at Kokuruen Hall will still take place, but in an empty arena, streaming for free on their YouTube channel, and I can't wait to check that out. New Japan Pro Wrestling has not currently canceled any upcoming live events, although they've issued a notice to fans attending their upcoming shows that upcoming meet and greets have been canceled due to precautions over the virus. So that's a lot of fun.
Well, it's cool that their major event they're still going to run. They're just going to air it for free, and they're not going to let anyone in because they're not going to suscept their wrestlers. There, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
To any potential hazards. You know, that's cool.
It's smart. There's a lot of it going around.
Allegedly, it seems like it. It seems like it. And yeah, it's cool to know that New Japan really hasn't stopped any. And yet, from what we've heard, it's mostly in the China region,
mm-hmm.
but we have heard some Taiwan, Korea, Japan, other seems like Asian areas have been catching it. There's been a few, they say, in the United States. I don't know. I mean, let's be honest, they're all just the flu.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have talked about this last week or the week before. But
we have talked about it.
It's all just the flu. They've all been called different names, and we've had them for years and years. It's just the flu. Get out of here. But I get it. It's cool that they respect and care enough about their wrestlers to put their finances behind them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, New Japan cares about the wrestlers. That you fans can congregate and cough all over each other all you want. You can't talk to the wrestlers.
That's true, and we're okay with that. Let's be honest. These fad diseases, Paystee, they come and they go.
Yeah.
Just like so much pro wrestling. There's so much coming and going in all of pro wrestling. In fact, I was told once, I think you told me this earlier this week, that we actually have a segment on our show in our Savage Sentinel called Comings and Goings.
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
I know, I never even noticed it.
Every week?
I don't know. I never noticed it. You said something to me about it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's amazing that this segment is able to come up every week.
You know, oftentimes before you come and definitely before you go, you come up. You come up, you come, you go. That's the way life is.
Have you ever came without coming up?
I have. And it's exhilarating. Oddly exhilarating. Somewhat disappointing, oddly exhilarating. Someone else who is oddly exhilarating and somewhat disappointing is Joe Bailey. And you might not know the name Joe Bailey, but keep listening because I bet you'll understand who we're talking about. Joe Bailey is currently training. He is. And he's currently training as a young lion for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Joe, whose real name is Bailey Matthews, is the son of the pro wrestling legend William Regal, who currently works as the on-screen NXT general manager and behind the WWE.
William Regal to keep his kid away from WWE.
Very smart. Of course, William Regal also works behind the scenes as the director of talent development and head of global recruiting.
William Regal's kind of like the poster boy for why you don't go to WWE.
He has, I would argue that Regal went through so much in his life before coming to WWE with drugs especially and alcohol. He had hit rock bottom several times, been fired several times, and it wasn't until some of his WWE rehab and working in WWE and having support from WWE that he actually got his shit together. So I think William Regal would be one of the few people who would tell you WWE was the best thing ever.
As a wrestler, I don't think William Regal was ever really put over.
No, but I also think he was pretty high and drunk.
That's what happens when you hang out with JBL.
This was long before JBL, buddy. Anyways, Regal has two other sons, Daniel and Dane, with his wife Christina. Of course, all the kids with the same woman. Good for them. That's a happy story in pro wrestling. You don't hear a lot with families. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Young Lions, for those of you who don't know, they're developmental talents and rookie wrestlers that have come through their strict system. And we talk strict. It's like NXT has nothing on this shit. The training in the New Japan Pro Wrestling dojo is stuff of legends. All of them have to live in the dorms, and they all have hopes of landing on the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster. The young, quote, Regal began his wrestling career in 2018, wrestling a few matches with Evolve and Progress Wrestling, and it looks like now he's on his way into New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, to be open and honest with folks, very few young lions make it onto the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster, just like very few NXT, or Performance Center especially, people make it into even NXT or WWE. So this isn't saying that he's even going to be in New Japan at all, but it is saying that if you ask me, and I'm assuming Paystee, he's being trained the right way to make an impact in this industry.
Oh yeah. My question is, how many young lions have been second-generation wrestlers with well-renowned names? I think the odds are in good favor that we'll see him in New Japan.
Well, let's put it this way, Paystee. Cody Hall was a young lion. He even made it onto the main roster as part of the Bullet Club. Where's Cody Hall now? Nobody fucking knows.
Following in his daddy's footsteps.
Sadly, sometimes it seems like that. Very sadly, sometimes it does seem like that. That's not even a joke. Not even a joke.
Well, hoping for the best for Joe Bailey. Let's get a Regal in that name. It'll do you some good. Impact announced that they have officially signed Chris Bay, and let me tell you, he is Bay.
Bye-bye.
Recently, Bay worked the February 8th and 9th Impact tapings. The 24-year-old from Las Vegas, billed as the ultimate finesser, worked a few Impact dates in 2018 and 2019 as well. He also appeared on the October 11th, 2019 205 Live in a loss to Minnesota's own Arya Daivari, our boy.
Our boy.
Aside from the Impact and WWE, Bay has also